Hello, everybody. I don't know why I've done the Borat accent today, but we have. Anyway, how's it going? Hope all is scrumptious, all is well. We got stuff to do today, and it is a lot of netherrack. Oh, it is so much netherrack. So this is what we have accomplished thus far. That is the edge, or the end right there. Obviously, it does go up a little bit more, like 20 blocks more. We are stopping right there. So, like, although it's not massive, it is relatively large. It's going to be a decent-sized build here, and, yeah. We're at 67,000 starting out today. That's a pretty good number, I think. Okay. Let's be careful about this. Hello, pigs. How are you? How are you, piggy bears? How are you? I'm wondering if we should start doing it this way now. We'll turn every once in a while just so that we can get somewhere, I guess, right? Is this the correct height? I don't even know. I have to look and see if that is the correct height or not. I just feel like it will aid me in at least a logical thinking that this is going to go all right. Like, I guess best way is to just do that, is to reduce the spawn. But this is a lot less, and I kind of like that. So let's go ahead and just start it out right here. And, I mean, I don't think we are going to need... So we can keep this, I suppose, and the rest is subject to be destroyed. Alright, let's start this grueling process. It is a lot of netherrack. It is a lot of me holding down the left click button and just swinging my pickaxe side to side all willy-nilly. It's a lot, right? It is, in fact, a lot. And it's going to take us a hot minute to get through all of this. But my hopes are, that in doing it in this fashion where we are going to do side to side, we'll do one, then we'll do the other side. My hopes are, that we will actually get done faster, even though I know that that is not how it works. In my brain, though, it will feel like we are making slightly more progress, alright? So just bear with me and know that what I'm saying here is an accurate portrayal of what I hope will actually transpire here. But, you know, time will tell. And we're going to get us some quartz along the way. It won't be much. We'll go get us some gold along the way. It won't also not be much. But it will be more gold than we've ever had in this world. So that's neat, I guess. And I'm hoping in this big old cube we get at least 12 of the ancient debris. To have 3 upgraded picks would be very, very nice. And, yeah. As always, we are holding the button here to try and not to aggro the pigmen. Because if you ever re-click, you are going to whack the pigmen right in the face. And if you do that, guess what? They are going to be angry at you. They are going to swarm and try to attack you and kill you. And, you know, that is never a good thing. Especially when there is open holes here that pigs can come flying out of. You don't want to do that. You just don't want to do it. Anyway, we're here for like our 6th consecutive day in a row of the nether brick goodness, of the grind of the century here. I think I did the math. It's about 140,000 more netherrack that needs to be taken out. So obviously that's a lot. We'll get to 207,000 if my calculations are correct. And I'm not 100% because I did it in my head and not using a calculator. However, I am relatively sure that we are very close to that target number. And I just hope that we can keep going, grinding away, and we can finish this. If we stay on track, we will have no problem finishing this prior to day 1000. And that's good, because we really need to finish a project. We haven't finished a single one yet, and that is really bad. So currently we have the Nether Hub. We have our Guardian Temple, which is still not even outlined in sand. We have, I mean, that's part of the island project, but I'm going to say it just because. We have the island project. That is mainly a channel reward point, so, like, most of that will get done as people redeem the rewards. We have the Isles of Scalos, which we still have an immense amount of digging left. And we still have our Fairy Warrior encampment. We have kind of two projects over by the end, one of which is the entrance to the end portal itself. One of them is the pyramid, on which sits over the end portal. And one of them is the perimeter that sits outside of both of those things, which will need to be terraformed, all trees removed, and we're going to do something wild over there. Something wild. I've never done that big of a symmetrical project, so that one I think is going to take the longest out of any of them, but I also think it will be really cool once we can situate that and get it done a little bit. So that's a lot of projects already. We need to finish one. I will not let myself start another one until we finished at least one of those projects. Granted, all of them are massive, massive projects, and each of them will take a long time to finish. But I think it is important that we start here with the Nether Hub, simply because it is the smallest out of all of those projects. And it's absurd to say, but this massive cube, which will eventually not be a cube, which will be a circle once we are done mining up the cube, this massive cube is only 71 by 71. So it is not that big. To put things in perspective, the Fairy Warrior encampment is at least double or triple the size of this, although it is a different shape. Still double or triple the size, so that is something. I'm going to try to fill in all of those because we do not want to risk any gas or anything coming out of these holes, and it doesn't matter if they are netherrack because of the way we have built the circle here. So if we need to, just one part of the wall should be have to be removed, and the rest should be fine. So not too worried about that. Yeah, look at that. So we are already running into caves, which is not a bad thing, but also not a great thing. It does mean that there's less digging. However, it makes the digging more chaotic because we have to look where we're going. We have to patch up the holes. And so it I don't know. It hits you both ways there. My main reasoning, though, prior to day 1000 of finishing this project first, even though it's the last that we technically have started, is this. I have never had a nether hub in any of my worlds, and I've never had anything linked up via the nether as a result of that as well. So we're trying our damnedest here to make sure that that is something that is able to be finished, and if it is finished, we're going to be really happy about it, because then we can use it as a inspiration to get everywhere, basically. What we can do is say, like, okay, right? We have to fly through here every single day to get to the next destination, right? If we want to go work on any of those projects that I spoke of, you have to fly through here if you want to get there in any decent amount of time. Have to fly through here. And my thought process is, if I fly through something that is completed, it's going to make me want to push a little bit harder on the rest of the projects because that one is completed. Now, it could be just a placebo effect. It may be something that is completely in my brain, and that's okay. Completely in my brain actually works for this particular reason, and we don't have to worry about it too much. I need to get that rock. Come here, rock. I know we are letting a lot of netherrack despawn, and that's okay. We're not going to be too worried about it. We're simply doing this because all of our many chests are currently filled. So I don't want to go ahead and make like 25 more chests, although we could. We could absolutely make more furnaces if we felt inclined. That would increase the number of netherrack that we are able to smelt at any given time. I just am feeling lazy because that requires a lot of hoppers, of which iron is not something we have right now because we're broke. We're broke. We have an iron farm. We've had an iron farm for a long time, but it is kind of garbage, I guess you could say, and it is never loaded because it is not in spawn chunks. So unless we are over there working on the Fairy Warrior encampment, guess what? It's not loaded. And even if we are working on the encampment, if we are not working on a specific part of it, well, guess what? Still doesn't work. So, yeah. And that part that we need to work on for the iron to work is currently not the part that we're actually working on. Ergo, we're not going to get ourselves any sort of iron really being produced that way unless we fly over for resources. Then one golem may spawn, giving us roughly 4 netherrack or 4 iron, which, you know, not great, not freaking great. But that's okay. It is in fact okay. And eventually we'll set up an actual iron farm because that one will have served its purpose. It will no longer be needed there. We'll take all the villagers and we will put them into society. We've been putting off that city for a little while now. And because we're putting off that city for a little while, we have no place to put those villagers yet. So I can't just release them to be free right this second, because we'd have nowhere to put them, you know? A lot of temporary things that we have set up, and I will say that's not a very good way to do things. Having to rebuild it 4 or 5 times because you put it in a place that was really dumb. And, you know, I'm not saying I've learned from that, but it does make me think a little bit about, like, this is really inefficient. Maybe, just maybe, we should do this a little bit better. And, you know, that's just how it goes. So, in the future, we may do some ultra planning first on any of our bases so that we can know, okay, right, you need a farm, right? It's going here because this spot is never going to change. And we actually succeeded in that in just one of our projects, and that is the pyramid. Because we built a creeper farm there and we built it in the dead center, although it is garbage and does not produce very many creepers, it's fine because it gets me enough gunpowder to be, you know, it gets me enough gunpowder, rather, so that I never have to worry about not being able to fly, and that is really all I cared about. Soon, maybe we'll make a ultimate creeper farm, maybe one in each area, just so that we can, if we're building over there, we're spending time over there, we can get that gunpowder as well for the TNT that we want to use eventually. I think that would embrace just a little bit for us as well. But it's a long haul. It really, really is. Got lava down there. We have many racks to go. Each one of these strips here takes a long amount of time. 20-30 minutes per strip. And I know we're going the length of the entirety of the cube, but like 20-30 minutes per little strip here, a little 2-gap strip. And although there's only like 36 2-gap strips at any side here, it's still a lot. Still a lot more netherrack than you think it is. Especially when I started this project, I was like, oh, this will be easy. This will be the easiest project we have ever done for ourselves. Why? Well, it'll take like 3 hours. Boy, was I freaking wrong, let me tell you. We've already put in 4 or 5 hours, and we're just starting this bad boy. This is a big project. 100,000 blocks plus that we have to dig out, and then, you know, we place back a good amount of those blocks. It's a big project. As much as I would love to say, oh yeah, we are going to do an actual small project in this world, I don't know if I can bring myself to do it. This project is supposed to be that. It's supposed to start out that way. And very quickly I was like, oh, why is this so small? Stupid. I do it every time. No matter what we're building, I do it every time. That is the bottom. Yeah, I literally do it every time, though, because I'm like, oh, you know, that's not too big of a project. We can make that bigger. What I forget to tell myself, though, is every block you expand it in here is just a lot more than you think it is. So we started with like a 15 by 15. It was going to be a really small room. 15 by 15. Like, we would have been done by now, digging it out. And then quickly it went to 71 by 71. And there were a few stops in the way, but eventually that's what we landed on. And that's kind of terrifying. Got a little bit of rack. Cool. Got a little bit of gold. Cool. Always like to convert it as we go, so I know what we have. And look at that. Not freaking bad. We'll take that so we have an extra layer. Let's take a look. How's our buckets doing? Looks like we have enough to refuel. We'll yeet that to oblivion. 19, that's okay. As you can see, more and more pigs are starting to come in here. That's because we're giving them less space that they can spawn, so we're going to start to see an astronomical amount of them. We gotta be ready for that. Oh, we finally reached the edge of this pool. That's great news. Well, maybe not. We're getting closer, though. I really want all of these magma blocks, too, because when we actually make a gold farm, that is going to be huge for us. Absolutely huge. And yeah, this inner sanctum here is where a lot of these pigs are going to start spawning. A lot of them. You can already start to see that there is a lot. And that is not something that is good news for us, because the more piggies that there are, the higher our chance of death is. So you got to be cognizant of that. Oh, but it is so nice to have it like detached. And we'll take the scenic ladder. Well, not. I was gonna say scenic, but it's not. We're gonna take the ladder so I can have a drink as I'm going up here. Ugh. There is a single hair in my mustache, and that single hair is tickling my nose. Something fierce. Ooh, we did not think this through. Yeah, this ladder is now pretty fucking useless, to be honest. Yeah. Right, so why did we do it like that? I have no idea. So now it doesn't seem to matter if we go this way or if we go this way. Either way, we're going to run into that problem. So I guess let's just go this way. Yeah, look how many ledges and stuff that we're going to need to slab when this is all said and done. All of that needs to go. Yeah, a lot of pigs up here already. And we're going to do what we did before and let a lot of these nether racks despawn, simply because our output cannot hang on to them right now. Till we decide to suck it up, Buttercup, and actually expand the amount of furnaces that we have, we will not be able to do this very well. And I feel like maybe we just should. But I don't know. We'll see, I guess. We will in fact see. There's no other way to speed it up besides making it like 10 times larger than it is, which could be a good idea since we do want most of this nether brick. Like, we've smelted so much of it and yielded very little of the nether brick itself. So that tells me we probably should put an emphasis on it. Whoa, like crap. Hi, lava. That's not very nice of you, I want you to know. Alright, let's stop burning for a second here. Okay. And here we go. Little by little, I want you to be aware that we are going to make progress, and that is a big, big deal. It is a big deal. Although we probably should start over, like, on the other side of the cube. I think that would probably make more sense. Detach this whole thing from the wall so we can actually see progress being made on a gigantic scale. I am wondering if we are going to start getting spawns in here for magma cubes. So that is something we do need in this world, is a frog-light farm. I really, really enjoy those blocks, and so far we do not have access to them. But we could. We probably could. All of these little details that I just never bothered to do. Drives me up a wall, don't worry. As much as it, I'm sure, drives you guys crazy as to, hey, why don't you have a farm for that? Well, therein lies the problem, right? I feel like very soon, or maybe I make a channel reward point for it, that you guys can team up and spend something, like a large amount on. And then what we'll do is we'll spend 100 days creating basic-ass farms that we could actually use. Like, or not basic, but farms that we could actually use, and we'll worry about making them pretty later. Because it's starting to become really cumbersome. And I know that I'm not going to do anything about it otherwise, so... Maybe I can do that, make a gigantic point reward where if it is reached in a certain amount of time, then we'll go ahead and we'll spend 100 Minecraft days creating farms. So we'll make ourselves an actual wither skeleton farm, an actual iron farm, an actual gold farm, a frog-light farm, the guardian farm. You know, maybe we'll just whip them all out. And not worry about the aesthetic part behind them. Probably be a good idea. We should have blocked that off, but it didn't really occur to me. Yeah, we should probably do that, actually. Pill over there and just seal that bad boy off. Because otherwise, pigs are going to start spawning there, so we don't really want that. Maybe we do that now. Nah. We'll do it later. We'll do it later. Can't be bothered to do it right this second, honestly. But I think those farms plus like a nice wood farm would be really, really beneficial for us. You know, I don't need an overkill one that can do 572,000 logs per hour or whatever, you know? Because I will never be able to build that contraption. Even following a block-by-block tutorial, I will never be able to do that. Can you just, like, go off, please? Like, can you just fall to your death, please? Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. We value your sacrifice. We value it. But there's so many farms that would be useful to us right now, and we have none of them. We don't have a slime farm. We don't have a bee farm. We barely have an Enderman farm, even though it's kind of shit because of the way I made it. We don't have really anything. I legitimately think that that Enderman farm is the only farm that we actually have. Like, there's a place for us to fight wither skeletons, but it's not like a farm. It's not set up for us to do that. We just run around with our head cut off, and eventually we'll get ourselves wither skeleton skulls. We do have a looting skull now, so that's not as bad, but still rough. Still freaking rough, and we definitely will need a few beacons for sure. Hell, even here should probably have a few beacons. Or a singular beacon in the middle. That would probably help us as well. But we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Lots and lots of rack here. Like I said, we're going to just try to make a big dent today. So long as my voice decides to hold out, as long as I have cranberry juice, we're going to just try our best to keep going here. We'll take occasional breaks, but it's fine. It is value able to do that, or else I'm definitely going to lose my voice a lot faster, because I am a person that just doesn't shut the hell up. To be completely honest with you, I just don't shut up, and I'm really bad at that. But that's okay. Is in fact a-okay. I think the next strip, we are going to do the back. And then we can do one more over here so that we can disconnect this giant floating landmass from the wall. And that's going to help us as well, because if we need to, we can use TNT at that point and not risk the outer shell. And as you can see, yeah, all of this is full. Still full. And this one's almost full of the brick. Same with this. Wow. It's a lot of brick coming in at any given time here. Go ahead and drop that off. Let's go get 13 buckets of lava. And I think very soon we should expand this. Maybe at the end of this next row, we just add more hoppers. We add all of that. Like, where is this? Where is this block that's preventing... Yes. Okay, well, there's still a lot of prevention going on, but... Yeah. We are just doing that simply because I need all of those blocks down there. And in case we want to go lower, we have that opportunity. And then we don't have to deal with the lava too. So that is a 2-for-1 show, I think. So for every one, we would need to fill this line. To fill that one? I don't know. Like, we'd need a lot of hoppers to fill this bad boy. And we kind of screwed ourselves because of where we put this chest. So I guess we could just move it back, make more furnaces, and then we'd run out of lava faster, but we'd smelt faster. So we'd have to, like, increase the amount of buckets that were in the system. It'd be a lot of iron. I genuinely don't know if we actually have the iron to do that. All right, regardless, let's keep going. Look at that. Yeah, these layers are way thicker than you think they are, for sure. I will say that. They just take a lot of time, a lot of patience, and obviously we're digging most of this out. So, to get the stat, because I like it when it's, you know, thousands of blocks on each one, and if it's hundreds of thousands, that just looks even cooler. When you look at your stats, you're like, oh, what have you done? Well, I've mined a shit ton of netherrack. I don't know. I like the stats. Which is the one negative of using a TNT dynamite. Because you don't get those stats. You might get some stats for picking it up, but not for the mining of it, and that is just kind of sad. Good to see some quartz here. That will give us a little bit more XP so we can dig just a little bit more. Really need to start carrying buckets with us. Maybe we'll go look and see, do we have the iron capacity to make a bunch more hoppers? Because if we do, maybe that is in our best interest. Because currently we are just throwing away hundreds of blocks of netherrack. And that feels pretty bad, because every 4 of those, we could get ourselves a block of nether brick. And we're missing out on all of that. All of our smelters are full, all of it's running at full capacity, so we need more iron for it. And this is another one of those temporary things, too, that we're just going to have to tear down at some point. Obviously, it has to finish smelting everything that is in there, but we're going to have to keep doing that. Alright. I am very glad, though, that a lot of this is not in a delta. A Soul Sand Valley or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm really glad that a lot of it is not in a Soul Sand Delta. Nope. No. Soul Sand Valley. Jesus. Say it correctly, please. Get out. Stop spawning there, or you will also be forced to the ground, where you will eventually despawn. Do not test me. No. Alright, let's get this layer done here. Every layer is progress. Just remember that. Every tiny step leads to something bigger than yourself. This is one of those like motivational things. You just gotta keep going. No matter what, you keep going. Your life's falling apart, you keep going. You just keep holding that metaphorical left click button. I guess. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, hello, lava. Hello. And my original thought was just carry a bucket with you at all times. That way, if there's ever lava, you can just pick it up, put it in the smelter, and you're good. But the issue with that is our inventory fills up so freaking quick. That is no longer an option. And we probably should pick up some of this quartz, too. I don't like leaving it down on the ground there. Those quartz blocks are very pretty, and for anyone that we don't have to trade emeralds for, that is good. We should also probably keep some of them in quartz form too, so that we can actually make some of the redstone components that I know we're going to need for some of the farms. Because otherwise we're going to have to come back here and go hunting for a lot of quartz, and even though it's not a lot, eventually it will yield the amount that we need, so we really should be keeping it as best as we can here. This is crazy, though. Just so many netherrack. And it doesn't look like you've made any progress, right? Every single layer that you're doing is like, oh, wow, you made progress, but you just didn't. Because there's just so much more. But I am very, very, very confident that we can finish this and most likely one other project prior to day 1,000. Simple reason for that is here we don't ever have to sleep. So instead of a day being 10 minutes, it is actually 20 minutes, which is obviously double the amount of time that we have to do something. So in here, as long as we are in here, we should be generating more time for ourselves. We're never going to sleep in here. Ooh, there's a debris. Nice. Yeah, we're never going to sleep in here because that will kill us instantaneously. And, yeah, we're just going to keep going. Keep smashing it out. I really just want this done. I am motivated to dig this sucker out. To have a single project in the world that we can be like, we can point to and be like, yeah, see, I have a completed project. Stop yelling at me. And then I can just start as many projects as I want to because, you know, I've completed a project. Hello, debris. Guess we'll take both of you. And I hear those crazed pigs somewhere. They make their unique squealing sound. They're like, ah! I can't quite do it, but there's something like that. Is this the last layer? Oh, it is. Nice. Oh, Maybe it's not. Yeah, look at that. They're already starting to spawn. That is not a good thing. And I apparently can't shoot them worth a damn either. Alright. We should be able to go this now. Do you have to be wary of those lads, because those lads will try and hurt us. We don't want that. And if he has a sword, he does a lot more damage. Okay, I think he did die from the fall, though, so we should be okay. Believe he died from the fall. Go ahead and put as much netherrack in there as we have. Like, where did you come from? Like, did you spawn in here? Oh. What biome is this? Nether waste. I didn't know that they could spawn in nether waste. That is interesting. Okay. Very interesting and not good news for us. Not great. I didn't mean to pick up all of that rack, to be honest with you. We're just going to throw it on the ground. Let it despawn. Alright, we're going to dump all of that in here. Ooh, it is, we have a completely full one now. Alright, so we do need to take a moment and empty this, which we will do once we get back. Let me take a quick break. I'm going to cut that single hair that's been annoying me and like tickling my nose for a minute now. And just stretch my legs and we'll be right back. Give me just a moment.